Hello everyone, welcome. Is my audio video fine? Can you guys hear me and see me fine? Hello Caitlin, and thank you so much for the confirmation. I'm glad to see you here again from the start. So, how are you doing? How has this week been for you, Caitlin? Okay. So, Caitlin says, doing good, had a good holiday. Thank you. Wow, that's so nice to hear that you enjoyed on the holiday. That's beautiful. So, yeah, I see Shavon also here joining us from the start of this live. Thank you for joining in. And okay, so I wanted you guys to vote on something. Okay, I like it, how you have added your pronunciation with your name. Thank you. I think yeah, it would be now more easier to remember, but now I have memorized it. So so yeah, thank you for doing that. So Shavon says, hello, Anisha and everyone. Hello, Shavon. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, and I'm seeing a new face here also, like in the love bubbles below the live. I would love to say hi and know, where you are tuning in from. So if you would like to, share with me that which part of the world you are from, I would love to know that. Yeah, so I was asking you guys to decide something for this live. So today I'm not feeling actually very well, so physically. So I was thinking of keeping this live short. So I want to ask you that which option would you prefer? The first option is that I guide you through a meditation and we do just one reading, or I skip the meditation for today and just do the readings, maybe three readings for today. So, which one would you prefer? Caitlin says, I'm tuning in from Hudson Valley, New York, but today I'm going to visit my grandma in New Jersey. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You're going to hmm, have that cozy feeling by going to meet your grandma. I hope that you have a nice visit, Caitlin. Um, Let's see. Georgette says hello from Louisiana. Hello, Georgette. Welcome. I'm glad that you tuned in. As far as I remember, is this your first time joining in? Caitlin says, road trip with mom too. Yes. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so like, a lot of feminine energy and connecting with all the roots here. Okay, let's see. Miss Amina says three readings. I'm driving. Okay, so Amina prefers readings, which makes sense since she cannot do the meditation. Although I want to like let you guys know that this is getting recorded. So even if we do a meditation and you're not able to follow, along right now, you can always, catch up later if that's what you want. Mary says hello from Australia. Hello, Mary. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you. So, Mary says meditation. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you for chipping in. Yeah, let's see, what are the votes today? Georgette says yes. Okay, you're tuning in for the first time. I'm glad that, this was going on your screen and you decided to tune in. And I really hope that, you find something valuable from this live today that makes your life a little bit easy at least. Caitlin says, let's see. I think readings would be fun. Okay, so maybe let's do a reading first and then we can, decide that should we continue with another readings or should we do the meditations. And if you are like especially here for the meditation, then you can check out my other meditations on my profile. So you can do them, or you can check out the replays if you also would like the video. So I have in my link tree, in my profile, in the about section, I have a link tree. So in that link tree, you will find all the replays of previous, lives. So okay, so let's start with the reading today. Usually, guys, so anyone who is tuning for the first time, usually we do a meditation. It's just because today I'm asking you to choose because I'm not in the best of my health. So yeah, I want to keep this one short, but I also wanted to be here with you guys. So that's why. But usually we do a meditation, yeah, and then we go on to the readings and everything. Okay, let's begin the readings. So, this is our Wheel of Wisdom. You might have read the name in the live event. So, this Wheel of Wisdom contains the names of some randomly selected books out of the many books that I've read in the past 8 years. So, to be precise, there are 31 books here on this wheel. So, what we do is that we first of all bring to our mind what is it that we need guidance on today. So what, in which area of my life would I like to receive some guidance on. So you can ask yourself this, or just see what has been bothering you so much, and in relation to which issue, which problem would you like to gain some clarity, some direction, some wisdom on. So bring that to your mind right now. Take a moment to think about it. If you feel comfortable, you can also share in the comments. And if not, then just holding it in your awareness. And if there is nothing specific that you would like some guidance on today, then you can just, set an intention, or, just hold this in your awareness that may I be open to receive some guidance, some general guidance for today or for this week. So holding that in your mind. And now, with that in your mind, we are going to spin the wheel and see which book would universe, God, divine, consciousness, or whatever you believe in, would like to choose for us today. So let's spin. Okay, it is interesting because this is exact like out of all the 31 books, this book was chosen, and this is the same book that came up in our previous live. So yeah, it is very interesting. Maybe there is something else that is left from this book that we didn't cover yesterday, because I didn't scroll further in that book, and my eyes just caught a paragraph, and it took a long time to just go through that paragraph. So yeah, maybe there is something left that we need to hear from this book. So let's see. I'm just still surprised, what are the chances of having the same book out of all the 31 books, just, the next life. Okay, so what we do now is that as I was reading, some of these books, what I did was that I note down some powerful insights or some transformational practices from these books, in a form of my notes. And what I do now is that I open those notes, I close my eyes, I set an intention for all of us to receive something. So I set whatever intention that comes to my mind. And then with my eyes closed, tuning into my intuition, I scroll through the book until I feel like I need to stop here. And this is something that everyone here needs to hear. So then we do the reading from that paragraph. So this is how this goes. And these are kind of like my notes from this book. So, hello Anand, welcome to this live. We are just starting the reading. And yeah, we are going to read from a book known as Excuses Begone by Wayne Dyer. So, yeah, so let's, start. May something come up from this book that eases the pain of everyone present here and brings a soft, gentle smile on their face and a sense of relief in their heart. Okay, let's see what came up. The author says compassion is the single most important quality that humanity needs to learn. This is the way to find happiness and health and to feel successful. War and violence would become extinct in one generation if, beginning at the age of 5, children were taught to meditate on compassion for an hour a week for the rest of their lives. Such is the power of a compassionate approach to life, which is truly thinking of others and living by the ancient golden rule, which is do unto others what you want them to do unto you. The very second you feel yourself retreating to excuses, repeat the mantra, how may I serve? Then act upon the answers you receive. You will become aligned with the universal mind, which is always giving. And the bonus is that you will notice the universe asking you back, how may I serve you? You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. So make compassion be what you are. Okay, I see some new people joined in. Mia says, hello, Anisha and everyone. Hello, Mia. It's so nice to see you here back again. I'm glad to have you. Anand says, meditation feels good when pressure is there, but in normal times, it seems little boring. Hmm. Okay, so what you're trying to say is that it is helpful when there is some sort of stress, right, in your life or in your body. But on normal days when everything is going fine, then it seems pretty boring, right? So, okay, okay. First of all, did I got that right, Anand? Did I understood it right? Okay. So, what is the meditation that you usually do? What is the type of meditation that you practice, Anand? Caitlin has replied to this. I feel like meditation on the normal days is what keeps you going and fuels the resilience for those pressure days. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Anand says, I do guided meditations. Okay. So is there any specific kind like mindfulness, visualization, Kundalini? Do you know, is there a specific kind or do you just, go with the flow, whatever you're feeling? And I agree with Caitlin, on the importance of meditation, on how it serves us. Okay, Anand says daily meditation on the app. So kind of like random, right? Mm-hmm. So what I would recommend, especially which really aligns with mindfulness meditation, is that be mindful of the boring sensations. So what does boredom feels like in your body? So become aware of what does boredom feels like. So in that way, so firstly, you might be noticing something, right? And then you might notice that feeling of boredom coming in. So make that boredom an object of your meditation, and just notice where do you feel it in your body, how does that feel like, what are the thoughts that come up, and then noticing those thoughts and coming back to the sensations, and then staying with the sensation, just like maybe breath is your object of meditation, maybe something else is depending on the type of meditation. So switch the object of meditation from breath to the feeling of boredom itself, and then you would maybe find it interesting as to see, how does boredom evolves, does it change, is it solid, in your body, is it a solid feeling, does it remains constant, or is there a different feeling? So Anand says, what type of meditation you do, Anisha? Yeah, so I am, specialized in mindfulness, but actually, like bring in different elements in relation to whatever I feel called to. So I'm not like very stiff with that. My certification is in mindfulness meditation, but I bring in other elements as well. I like to experiment and yeah, and just follow whatever is coming up for me. And coming to Caitlin's reply to that, so I have given you the action, and now the importance of practicing on normal days is that, I really love to use this metaphor with people um, in terms of when they're trying to develop a healthy habit, is that, you cannot learn to sail the boat while you are in the storm, in the ocean in between, and storm is coming and everything. So you cannot learn a certain thing, you cannot learn how to sail in that. So you need, when you are near the shore, wherever the boats are, so you need to learn that skill on that, when everything is calm and everything, so that you are able to develop that quality. And then when the shore comes, it would be there for you. That practice or that skill that you have developed, it would be there for you, and it would serve you, and it would help you deal with whatever storm life has thrown your way. So adding a metaphor for what Caitlin mentioned, that in normal days it is important, but because it keeps you going and it fuels your resilience for those days, for those pressure days. And there is something, I think, that something else that Caitlin has added. So Caitlin says, I can see sometimes it being boring or not feeling like you are in the mood. I think most practitioners go through those phases. I do. Exactly. It is a normal experience for that to feel like not every day you would feel very excited to the meditation, or you would not feel that I need the meditation. But again, now we are developing the skill of consistency, that, despite however we feel, we do not let our mood dictate it. We sit down, and if not for 10 minutes, we practice it for like 2 minutes on that day. But at least we sat down and we stick with the practice, and we are a constant meditator. So we are, not ditching that identity that we are trying to form, that we are a consistent meditator. We are a meditator. So even if on those days when it is very hard, if you just sit for 2 minutes instead of 10, then that's okay. So that is showing kindness to yourself as well. bringing in the compassion component here. Okay, I missed certain comments and then I will go through all the comments one by one. Hmm. So we got like a little bit misdirected. But that's okay. Nadine says, mantra of the day, how may I serve? Exactly, in this paragraph that is highlighted, the reading that we did right now, that is a very wonderful thing to carry, with you. So thank you for highlighting that, Nadine. That how may I serve? Um, because recently I think I was attending a live of another teacher who was talking about manifestation and everything, and she taught about this law of exchange there, and she explained that we are always asking the universe that give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that, and we are in the in always in the energy of receiving, right? We are always in the energy of receiving, asking, 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 and we are giving nothing in return. We are not giving anything in return. So what she suggested was that in whichever area you are asking, ask yourself that how may I serve, uh, uh, or another variation of this question, but it is a wonderful question to ask that in this area, whatever you are trying to manifest, how can I serve? So I think she gave an example of a job. Like, so if you are trying to earn more money or something, right, through your job, maybe trying to get promoted or something, then you're asking the universe, but what you're giving in return. So you can ask yourself that how can I serve better in my job? How can I serve my clients better? How can I serve my manager better, or whatever, whoever you feel like to serve you, whoever you feel called to serve. So, balancing the energy. And also in this way, when we are giving that, we can only give what we have. So in that way, we are cultivating that state within ourselves. And then we are going to attract, that higher frequency. We are going to attract the similar thing that is at that frequency by being that, by giving that. So and thank you for all the hearts. Thank you. These keeps me going in a way. These keeps me, allows me to know that y- you're resonating with what I'm saying. So yeah, this paragraph kind of highlighted that by asking how can I serve, we get into that state in relation to what we are asking. And what the lines say that you will become aligned with the universal mind, which is always giving. So by us giving, we will get aligned to that mind. And then the bonus is that you will notice the universe asking you back, how may I serve you? So how the universe can serve me? So that is the question that they would be asking, because so it is working at many different levels. Let's see some another comment. So yeah, so maybe this can be the question to carry with you. How can I serve? How may I serve? Caitlin says, Bo, I really like that. The last line resonated with the a commitment to love movement. Yeah, it is, let me see what was the last line. So make compassion be what you are. Yeah, it is beautiful. We can choose who we want to be, what state of being we want to embody. And if that is compassion, then as the author says, if we were taught from the age of 5, to practice compassion, then the world would be a different place. And we would also be attracting more of that, what we are being. So, yeah, Caitlin says, okay, we have covered that and that. Mia says, good night, everyone. Have a nice day or evening. Thank you, Mia, for tuning in. Okay, you had a question. I missed that. I hope that you're here still. I can see your bubble. So maybe I will take that question first so that you can go back to sleep, go to sleep. Okay, you are. Okay, beautiful. So Mia says one question before I go. I normally do meditation, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. Are there any recommended meditations for those times? Hmm. So So there is a very common, recommendation in especially in like, you know, in mindfulness tradition that whatever the state is. So if a particular state is, stopping you from doing whatever you're doing, from, being aware of whatever the object was of your awareness. So you can, for the time being, shift your awareness to whatever the blockage is. So it can be the state of boringness, the feeling of boredom coming up. So make that your object of mindfulness and start noticing that what does that feel like, where it is in my body, is it changing, is it the same, and just keeping your attention there. And the second thing is or maybe the next obstacle might be sleepiness. So if you are starting to feel sleepy, become aware of that sleepiness and notice, what does that feel like, what does that state of sleepiness feel like. And you will notice that once you take your mindfulness to that state of sleepiness, you know um somehow you would start to feel more awakened, because mindfulness is actually the opposite of being like unconscious or sleepiness or drowsiness and all of that. So you would state of being would start shifting, and you would be mindful of that being happening to you. And similarly, in your case, maybe the feeling is feeling demotivated. So you don't have to, so in that case, maybe don't move to a different place, maybe don't move to the meditation um uh, room or whatever, wherever you do meditation. If you don't feel like it, start meditating, start bringing your focus to that feeling of demotivation or whatever that is. So try to figure out, turn inward, ask yourself what I'm feeling right now, because sometimes there are different layers beneath that. So unfold that, feel that, what is the emotion that is coming up. So label that emotion, and then be mindful of that emotion instead of your regular practice, instead of something else. So in that case, you don't have to move, you don't have to bring in an extra step that to your mind is an obstacle. You can modify it in terms of wherever you are. And if you can move to your place, wherever you meditate regularly, then that would be of course good. But if you cannot, adapt it. Okay, let's see. So I hope that that answered your question. Okay, Mia says thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye, Mia. I hope that you have sweet dreams and a very refreshing and restful sleep. And I will see you in the next live. By the way, I'm not going to go live day after tomorrow. I was doing live on alternate days, but I don't think I would be well by then. So I'm going to take some rest. And maybe, after 4 or 5 days, I'm going to have my next live. So, of course, if you're following me, you would get notified. Let's see. Let's see. What are the next comments? Georgette says, I like meta, loving kindness meditation. Yeah, that is such a the first time I did it was, I still remember. First time I did it was, I did it like lying down instead of sitting up. And I felt such warmth in my heart that I fall asleep. I was feeling so safe after doing that meditation. And yeah, and by the way, Georgette, I have like a guided meditation on loving kindness in my profile, if you would like to experience that in my voice, or in my with my energy. So I would like show you just a second in case you are interested. So when you will go to my profile and you will like scroll down, all the way down, all the way down. Yeah, so I have like created playlists. So you would see like a mindfulness meditation challenge. So in this, I have like 15 days of mindfulness meditation challenge, which is actually the lives that I did, and I recorded it and I like published those tracks. So I have like a loving kindness meditation in there. And also a just like me meditation, which is a very beautiful addition to Meta. So you can check that out if you're interested. Hmm. Let's see. Lisa says, I am so anxious right now that meditating makes it worse. I can only do it with other people right now. Yeah, that makes sense, Lisa. Sometimes, when we are turning inwards, it feels unsafe sometimes, maybe based on the history you have had. So in that case, what is recommended is to do whatever first help you feel grounded and feel safe. So that is perfectly okay if you find it helpful to do it with others, if that brings a feeling of safety, so that you feel safe enough to turn inwards. Or yeah, sometimes as Nadine mentioned, it is helpful to keep your eyes open, or just lower your gaze, just looking downwards, so that the visual distractions are not there. um so, your eyes are open, you're feeling safe, because sometimes the darkness feel it make it feeling unsafe. So there are like, we can explore like what are the triggers, and then, modify that accordingly. So if working with a group, if working with other people helps, then that is perfectly fine, because that is what you need in order to be able to turn your attention inward. And whatever works for you is okay. So we do not want um, that to trigger to be re-traumatizing in any manner, if your history includes like any form of trauma, because it is sometimes difficult for some people to meditate with, if they have a history of trauma. So yeah, the suggestion is to make yourself feel safe with whatever it is, with other people, with maybe doing breathing exercise first, with maybe doing other form of exercise first. Okay, first having some water. Mm. Nadine says, Hi Anisha, I hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Nadine, for your kind wishes. Yeah, I hope. I'm receiving your kind wishes. Thank you for that. Sorry to hear the healing is taking longer. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, I have been like physically unwell. Yeah, sometimes it just start to settle down, and then again. Ah, so sending you healing energies and strength. Thank you so much. Thank you, really. Thank you. Thank you for still being here for us, even though you don't feel 100% well yet. It's nice to see you again. Thank you so much. That's such a sweet comment. I'm glad that, um, you are enjoying this presence and this space. And I'm really grateful to be able to host it. I really didn't want it to like cancel anything. I just wanted to stay here as long as I can. So thank you so much. And thank you for your kind wishes. Means a lot. Mia says, yep, okay, to other question. Nadine says, meditation every day, regardless of my mood, keeps me sane and helps me stay in balance and centered on days that I feel chaos inside and outside of me. Meditation is the special sauce, especially when we say, I don't have time today or I don't need it today. That is exactly when I need to stop and collect myself and ground and just be. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Nadine. How you manage through all that your mind throws at you to stop you, and how it is so helpful that you have made it such an important ritual of of your life, of your day. And yeah, it is really beautiful to read this. Leslie says, perhaps begin with thanking your breath, and the next one, a few deep breaths can change the trajectory. I love that, bringing gratitude to your practice, because, yeah, being in that state of gratitude again changes our whole, being, our whole way of being. And now we are more aligned with, gratitude with those higher frequencies. Anand says, Anisha D, how to deal with our expectations while the next person has different priorities? Hmm. First of all, I would suggest, what came through from this reading, that having compassion for you, for the way it hurts, for whatever emotions that brings up when, maybe that person's priority is not you. And then once you have given yourself that compassion and you no longer really need it from other person, so the need is being fulfilled by your own self, then maybe you can go with communication, and communicating not the thoughts, but focusing more on the feelings. The I statements that kind of therapists recommend, that I feel this or I feel that. So, yeah, so, and it feels so vulnerable to be able to express your feelings, your real feelings to that person, and not attach any judgment or any, opinion or whatever you are thinking to it. So yeah, so first compassion, and then when you are in a state of calm, then having that conversation with them. And if after the conversation it turns out, they are not willing to, um, yeah, and after expressing your feeling, make a clear request to that person as to what it is that you need. Because sometimes we are like, if the other person, if I'm important to other person, or if the other person loves me or something, then they would understand. But they cannot read your mind. So make it very clear in terms of what is it that you want. And then, communicating that in a form of request, not a demand. So communicating that in the form of request that, would you be willing to do this? And if they say no, then, try to figure out to understand that what is their need, what is their feelings. And yeah, just, it takes back and forth to come up with a negotiation. And if they say blatantly like no, then the next step is acceptance. Anand says, but it feels like our inner baby is crying for that person. So it is not that person, it is the feeling that is being provoked by, being with that person. So you need to, you know, how lonely that inner baby is, that it not only that have that, get that from that person, but it also do not get that love from yourself. So that's why I said the first step is compassion for yourself, for being there with that inner baby, for you to be there with that inner baby, for you to meet the need. And that need is not that person, that need is some kind of feeling. Okay. Let's see. Nadine says, I did get the notification today and it stayed on my phone. I think you have to go on to notifications of the actual teacher on Insight Timer account. That way it works for sure. I have come to understand. Hmm. Let's see. So you are talking about, like, when a teacher start the live, right? In the previous session, we were discussing that, someone, I think Bella was not getting the notification when a teacher was going live. So yeah, I think to that Nadine has answered that maybe you have to go to um yeah, to that account. I have still have to figure that out. Let's see, what happens. Okay. My mind is now kind of shutting down, so I'm not processing this very well. But yeah, I would try to understand that. Leslie say you can go to Anisha's site, Wonderful Beings. Thank you, Leslie, for bringing this up. So, guys, if I actually have a small community on Insight Timer, a group on Insight Timer named as Wonderful Beings. So, yeah, so whenever like I, release any track, then I post it there. And also after each live, I kind of post a summary there, which include the name of the book that came up for all of us, and also, the readings that we did from that book. So in case, you don't want to miss out on anything. So yeah, you can, join that group and follow me to get notified about these live events and, the tracks that are getting released, because I am actually releasing, all the tracks one by one. Um, what we have done in the past, Wheel of Wisdom series. So we have done approximately like 45 episodes of this Wheel of Wisdom. And in each live, I have started with a meditation. So yeah, I'm now releasing them on Insight Timer. So I have already released like four of them, I think. Um, Yeah, so again, if you go to my playlist, I have actually created a playlist for all of you to, find it with ease. So there is Wheel of Wisdom. Yeah, so yeah, it has like all the meditations that have been released so far from the series. And I also like notified in my group. So if you want, you can join that. And also, yeah, I remember for the person like who mentioned, feeling anxious or something. So I have like, self-soothing techniques here. So, all the techniques to regulate your emotions. So you can, check these out and see, whichever one make you feel more safe or make you feel the way you want to feel. So you can check that out as well. Um, Anand says, so you mean we should calm ourselves down and learn how to move on? But it's so difficult to understand why people go nuts like this. I didn't understand the last statement, but yeah, we need to first focus on ourselves, meeting our own needs, bringing compassion to ourselves. It is very easy to go in the okay, yeah, I get it. To go into the thoughts, like, why the other person is doing this thing. Yeah, why do this person change with time and all of these things. It is very easy to distract ourselves. So it is one of the ways in which our mind distracts us into the thoughts so we don't feel the hurt that all of this is causing. And in doing so, we are kind of abandoning that part of ourselves that is feeling that hurt. So that's why I said the first step is compassion. The first step is bringing some love or meeting the need of that part. And then, once you have met yourself at an emotional level, you would be able to move on and, do all of the things that I mentioned. Okay, guys. So let's move on to another reading before we wrap this live. Because yeah, I am feeling like I'm starting to feel a little bit weak. So yeah. So would you guys like me to do another reading from the same book, which is Excuses Begone? Or would you like me to choose another book like Spin Again? So you can vote same book or Spin Again. Anand says new book. Okay, thank you. Other people, same book or Spin Again? Same book or new book? Nadine says same book, please. Srinidhi says new book. Okay. Welcome, Srinidhi. Hello. Okay. So we have two for new book, one for same book. Anyone else would like to vote? Okay, you're open. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that would make me feel less guilty, kind of. Okay. Michelle says new book. Okay, let's go with the new book. Anand says you want to read same book. I am okay with everything that you guys want. So yeah, I have no preferences. Okay, so let's spin again. Again, you can hold in your mind whatever it is that you need guidance on today. Okay. Yeah, magic is working. Okay, so we talked a lot about compassion, and this book has followed the paragraph that we read in a way, and also all that I've talked about in relation to Anand's question. So let's see what this book wants to share with all of us. Nadine says, I hope we can finish soon so you can get the rest that you need. But I'm grateful for your presence and love, Anisha. Thank you so much for your care and love. Yeah, I so appreciate that. Hmm. Yeah, so this is our last reading. This would be me being compassionate to both myself and you all, since you have given me this time and everything. Nadine says synchronicity at its best. Exactly, self compassion. Let's see. And maybe there is a message for me too in there. Let's see what this book wants to say to all of us. Okay, let's see what came up. Dina. Hi, Dina. Welcome. I'm happy that you decided to tune in. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, and a message for you as well. So we are not going to expand on this. We are going to just, wrap this session with this particular reading. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead. Dina says, hello, friend. Hello, welcome. Thank you for sharing the space and tuning in. Really, I'm grateful for your presence, Dina. Okay, so the author says, compassion is not only relevant to those who are blameless victims, but also to those whose suffering stems from failure, personal weakness, or bad decisions. The kind you and I make every day. Compassion then involves the recognition and clear seeing of suffering. Clear seeing of suffering. It also involves feeling of kindness for people who are suffering so that the desire to help to ameliorate suffering emerges. Finally, compassion involves recognizing our shared human condition, flawed and fragile as it is. If we are in a difficult or stressful situation, we rarely take the time to step back and recognize how hard it is for us in the moment. I'm going to read that line again. If we are in a difficult or stressful situation, we rarely take the time to step back and recognize how hard it is for us in the moment. And when our pain comes from self judgment, if you are angry at yourself for mistreating someone or for making some stupid remark at a party, so if that our pain comes with that self judgment, then it's even harder to see these as moments of suffering. After all, I messed up. Doesn't that mean I should be punished? Well, do you punish your friends or your family when they mess up? Okay, maybe sometimes a little, but do you feel good about it? Everybody makes mistakes at one time or another. It is a fact of life. And if you think about it, why should you expect anything different? Where is that written contact? Sorry, where is that written contract you signed before birth, promising that you would be perfect, that you would never fail, and that your life would go absolutely the way you want it to? Excuse me, there must be some error. I signed up for the everything would go swimmingly until the day I die plan. Can I speak to the management, please? It's absurd. And yet, most of us act as if something has gone terribly awry when we fall down, or life takes an unwanted or unexpected turn. I think nothing needed to be added to that because it summarized how or what exactly the kind of a thought process, all the shoulds that we have, all the expectations that we have that causes us the suffering, and what to do, what are the steps of self compassion, especially if, our pain is paired with self judgment. So it involves, recognizing that we are judging ourselves or there is pain because we very rarely stop to recognize that we are suffering in this moment. We actually direct move or jump to problem solving. So recognizing that suffering, recognizing the additional self-judgment, bringing in the kindness and recognizing that it is the part of being human to make mistakes, to have flaws, to, for all of that, for whatever you are judging yourself. So I guess, yeah, that is a beautiful summation of this live, for this live. Okay, let's say we have some comments. Anand says, loving your life, but gotta go for the meeting. Okay, that's okay. I hope that you enjoyed it and you can always catch back because this is getting recorded, so you can listen to the replay. And let me share with you guys where the replay is, where you can find the replay in case you joined late. Hello, Bella. Bella says, hola, everyone. I am so glad that, you get to catch this beautiful paragraph that we were reading. And again, you can always catch the live in case, you were not able to um, join in at the start. Bella says yes. Yeah, Bella is happy to be able to catch that. So, the place where you can access the replay, this video recording, is that you can go to my profile, go to the About section. When you scroll down, you will see a link tree there. So you can click on the link tree and you will see Wheel of Wisdom replays. So I have created a whole playlist of all the lives in the Wheel of Wisdom series we have done. So this is our 46th live, and we started this year only at this, in the January. So yeah, so you can check this particular live out, and the number is 46. And the reason why I have created the playlist is because in case I'm not, going live and you would like to receive some guidance, you would like to be open and receptive to that higher wisdom, then you can just close your eyes, tune into your own intuition, practice that and choose a number between 1 to 46, and whatever number comes through, watch that particular video, having that trust, that wisdom would come through from that source, whatever you have tuned in. So yeah, that is another purpose of that playlist, to play with your own intuition, to practice that, to strengthen it so that you can, begin to develop that trust in yourself and trust in life or God or universe or whatever you believe in. Um, yeah, okay, I missed a comment. So Dina says, yes, it is not my suffering I am looking at, but the suffering I am here to transmute. Wow, that is so beautiful, not identifying with that because, yeah, it makes things sometimes more complicated, but seeing it as it is. And, once we hold it in that love, in that compassion, that automatically transmutes because once we hold it in our natural state of being, in that love, that it is bound to happen, that it is going to change and it is going to change into something beautiful. Which also reminds me that, yeah, suffering often leads to compassion because once we, you know, encounter suffering in our own life, we actually become more compassionate. We realize that what it is to feel that suffering, what is it to feel that hurt, that kind of a hurt. And then we are able to extend that compassion to others who are in a similar state. So yeah, in that way also that suffering can leads to compassion. Thank you so much, Tina, for sharing that, beautiful line. Thank you. Um, yeah, okay. So, I have mentioned about the video recordings, and although the recording would take like 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel, so in the meantime, what I usually do is that if you want immediate access, so as I mentioned, I have a group, I have a small community on Inside Timer known as Wonderful Beings. So you can either, search for it or you can go to my profile again. And when you will scroll all the way down, by the way, these are the tracks that just got released from this Wheel of Wisdom series. So feel free to listen and, share your experience. How do you find them? I would love to hear about it, how you find these meditations. So yeah, you can check them out. Thank you for heart. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, just a second. Yeah. So when you scroll all the way down, you will see a small group here. So the name is Wonderful Beings. Thank you, Bella, for typing it. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so Wonderful Beings, you can join that, and I will post the name of the book as well as all the readings that we have done in that group in case you missed out on anything. And I also update about my latest tracks or something I like or I feel like sharing because I keep on reading books. I love doing that. Recently, I think in the last 3 months, I have read like 6.5 books so far. So yeah, I love reading books. Yeah, so if anything I find like, yeah, this is something I want to share with my little community, then I do that in that group. Or if, for some reason I cancel the live, then I update anything in that group as well. So yeah, you can be a part of that community. Bella says, you look so pretty today, Anisha. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bella. Yeah, that is so nice of you. Okay. Um, what I was saying. Yeah, so that's it for this live. If you found something of value, if you enjoyed this, and if you would like me to support, if you would like to support me in continuing doing these lives, day after day, because usually I do these lives on alternate days. I'm not going to do the live day after tomorrow just because of my physical health, but yeah, usually I do them on alternate days. So if you would like to support me in doing that and continuing to do that, you can do so by, pressing the donate button somewhere here and making a small donation to help me keep on going on. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. And and thank you for all the love. I love the hearts. I love. Thank you so much. I am receiving all that love from you. I'm really feeling it. So thank you so much. Bella says, thank you. Thank you, Bella, for tuning in. It's always nice to see familiar faces as well as some new faces as well in the bubbles. I hope you guys, anyone who tuned in for the first time, enjoyed it or, found something of value from this live. Okay, so I think it's time to end the live. If you would like to get notified about my next live, you can feel free to follow me. Or if you would like to get notified about the tracks that I publish, meditation that I publish, feel free to follow me. You will get notified. By the way, the section of notification has changed on Insight Timer. So if you go to now the page, you will see like the notifications here. So if you hear and my teachers, so you will see the notifications here. Nadine says, get well soon, Anisha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nadine, for all your kind wishes, for your beautiful presence, and yeah, for for just being. Yeah. Siobhan says, thank you. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Siobhan, for your kind wishes. I'm glad to see you here again. Nadine says, sending you love and light. Receiving that. Srinidhi says, thank you, Anisha, for a wonderful session. I'm glad, Srinidhi, that you enjoyed it, and thank you for tuning in again. Okay, guys. So that's it for this live. Bye bye. Take care. Namaste. Leslie says, sweet dreams. Thank you, Leslie. Bye, Dina. Bye. I'm glad that you joined in. I hope to see you in the next live. Bye.